Addiction, choice or disease? The truth society needs to face. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to ask you a question. Imagine being judged and criticized just because you're struggling with a health problem. Now take that a step further. What if that health problem was addiction? Should we see addiction as a personal choice or an actual disease? This is an important question because now we see addiction influences how we treat people who are struggling with it. If we believe addiction is just a choice, then we blame the individual and ignore the real problem. If we understand it is a disease, then we can have more compassion and provide more help. I want to share with you today why society needs to change how it judges addiction. First off, I'll talk about the problems with judging addiction as just a choice. Then I'll explain the causes of addiction, and why it's truly a disease. I'll explain, and I'll give you some ideas on how we can all help change how society treats drug addicts. The problem with judging addiction as just a choice. Let's start with the problems that come from blaming addicts for their problems. Many people have believed that addiction is a matter of meek willpower or poor morals. But according to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, many addicts feel shame and stigma because society labels their problem as a personal weakness. When society blames addicts, they often hide their problem instead of seeking help. That makes their situation worse because they don't get the treatment they need. Instead of supporting them, society pushes them further into shame and isolation. That creates a cycle where addiction only gets worse. So judging addiction as just a choice hurts people. It stops them from getting help and makes recovery a lot harder. But what causes addiction? That's what we'll look into next. Causes of addiction and why it's a disease. Now, people don't realize that addiction is caused by complex changes in the brain. The American Society of Addiction Medicine explains that addiction alters how the brain reward system works. It's similar to other diseases like diabetes, heart disease, because it's a medical condition, not a weakness of character. When someone develops addiction, their brain chemistry changes, making it difficult to control their urges. These changes are not caused by a failure of willpower. They're the result of a biological process that needs medical treatment. Understanding addiction as a disease helps us that people don't choose to become addicted in the same way they choose what they eat for lunch. It's a health problem that requires care and treatment. This understanding opens the door for better solutions, which I'll discuss next. So some of the solutions and how we can help, how society should respond. The World Health Organization recommends that we treat addiction like any other health issue. Instead of punishing addicts, we should provide them with more treatment programs, counseling, and support. By doing this, we give people a real chance to recover. When addicts get proper help, they are more likely to live healthy and productive lives. Instead of judging, we need to be supportive. We can start by educating ourselves and others about how addiction really works. We also need to change laws and policies to reflect this understanding. For example, if we can support programs that offer medical treatment rather than jail time for addicts, society benefits because fewer people get stuck in the cycle of addiction and fewer lives are ruined. Something personal about myself is when I was addicted every day, it would be a real struggle. Wouldn't be just because of that I lacked willpower. My brain was changed, and that makes quitting extremely hard. I'd be trying to deal with this problem while feeling shamed and judged by society. People might tell me I'm weak or that I just need to try harder. They might shun me and tell me that I'm a bad person because I have this issue. That would make me feel even more hopeless and afraid to ask for help. Honestly, it might even make me want to hide my problem more because I'd fear of being rejected or looked down on. If society understood that addiction is a disease, I think we'd have a much better chance. When I seeked treatment, I got more help and more of a chance to stay sober than when I went to treatment rather than when I got sent to jail. I ended up getting high right when I got out of jail. So that's basic facts in my own life. So in conclusion, today I told you about how judging addiction as just a choice causes harm to individuals, why addiction is actual disease based on scientific research. and how we can improve our attitudes and policies to help those in need. Remember, addiction is a health problem, not a moral failure. If we understand this, we can be more compassionate, reduce stigma, and give people a real chance at recovery. Let's stop judging people for their health problems and start supporting them. We all want a healthier, more caring society. Thank you.